Dr. Eric Kelly III and the host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and the host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur, or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder, Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be leaders, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
Hello, I am Dr. Eric Kelly III, the visionary strategist and founder of the Black Business Olympics. I invite you to showcase your Black-owned businesses on the Black Business Network global stage. The Black Business Olympics is a global Black business network platform that propels Black-owned businesses into the international spotlight. By showcasing your business on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can reach a worldwide audience of potential customers, partners, and investors. You can also establish yourself as a thought leader, an expert in your field, attract lucrative partnerships, and more speaking engagements. In addition, the Black Business Olympics platform provides a valuable opportunity to connect and collaborate with like-minded entrepreneurs and business professionals from around the world. This can lead to new business opportunities, ideas, and relationships. Finally, by sharing your story and expertise on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can inspire and empower others. This is a powerful way to make a positive impact on the world and leave a lasting legacy. If you are a Black-owned business owner, I encourage you to seize the opportunity to showcase your business on the Black Business Olympics platform. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make an indelible mark on the world. Be one of the 1,000 visionary entrepreneurs who are changing students' lives, shaping industries, and leaving an unforgettable legacy for their families. Unleash your voice on our global stage and watch your business thrive. Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Yes, the entire world. Just give me a call today at 919-308-9090.
Are you a forward-thinking entrepreneur or business owner? The world is changing faster than ever, and it's time to pivot and adapt to the future. Hello LLC is here to help you do just that. Hello stands for helping enterprises leverage leading-edge optimizations. Our innovative solutions can streamline operations, reduce overhead costs, and give you a competitive edge in a market projected to reach $5 trillion by 2030. By pivoting to the metaverse, businesses can tap into a rapidly growing market that is projected to be a significant part of daily life for 25% of Americans by 2026. As a full digital metaverse agency, the Hello LLC can help you create custom solutions to streamline operations, increase productivity, reduce costs, and drive brand recognition. Why should you pivot to the metaverse with the Hello LLC? By leveraging cutting-edge technology, you can provide immersive experiences for your customers, expand your global reach, and unlock new revenue streams. Contact us today to make the pivot.
I was born in a little village on the island of Haiti. Many deadly diseases pounded me. It is as if they were on a mission to end my existence on this earth. I refused to give up. In 1983, I left Haiti and came to the United States of America. And I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak any English. I came to Atlanta. I got a job. I was a doorman. I was a doorman with a dream. What I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. No condition is permanent. Don't let your situation distract you. You are chosen. You are called. You are born for a purpose in this life.
Hey everyone, it's Grant McGaw, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series, where I help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. My genius is personal brand development through intelligent communication and helping you achieve your business and career goals. I am a requested speaker on digital technology and brand development issues. I want to work with you to increase the value of your current opportunities while attracting new ones. Every one of you is unique, and we all share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. As a super connector, I work with you as an executive coach to guide you along the complicated business and career development road, providing the enhancement tools and information you need to succeed. Together, I will help you succeed in today's challenging business climate. I will evaluate and measure your progress. Best of all, I am right alongside you every step of the way. Build the brand called you. Genius is common.
Ladies and gentlemen, and fellow professionals, please allow me to introduce myself. I am David Jones, the co-founder and CEO of the Hello LLC, where I am passionately dedicated to guiding individuals and businesses toward their own return on time investment. Time is my only competition. With over 20 years of experience as a corporate C-level executive, I bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise to the Hello LLC. My career journey has been marked by a relentless pursuit of excellence in marketing, strategy, and business management leadership. I have had the privilege of working with renowned Fortune 500 companies such as Xerox, American Airlines, Hilton, and Geico. However, what truly drives me is the transformational work we do at the Hello LLC. We are pioneering a new approach to business in the metaverse, where we empower businesses and individuals to build strong foundations, automate their processes and systems, while thriving in the ever-evolving digital landscape. More than just a 3D digital marketing agency, the Hello LLC is truly a community built on love, kindness, and integrity. We want more for you than from you. As I often say, collaboration is the new competition. In an era where time is the most precious commodity, I am here to guide you toward your own return on time investment, because if time was sold in stores, it would be sold out. with a deep commitment to excellence and a strong belief in the power of community. I don't just lead a company, I lead a movement into the future of business. Ladies and gentlemen, it is both an honor and a pleasure to be your guide on this remarkable journey. I am David Jones, and together, we will embrace a future marked by success, collaboration, and the transformative work we do at the Hello LLC. Hello stands for helping everyone live life optimally. So, let's...
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo.
My name is Katie Bennett, and I own Lexicon Presents Publishing. We are a publishing and media company that helps you take your story and share it with the world. You know, for a while, I just had my family telling me to just hang it up, get over it, you know, and I had no support. And it was in your program that I really understood the necessity for having that help, having that support. And so now I actually feel like a CEO as we scale, as our clientele changes, as my company is opening doors for other people to, you know, take care of their families. It's just completely changed from just a mom who was publishing books. I was at a point where my job, although it was paying really well, wasn't enough. And my business was always in the red, and I was tired of it. And so I came in just hoping to get some sort of help to just not end up in the red every month. Ooh, wow. Okay, so there was one in particular, I cannot remember his name, but he asked me, he said, why are you in business? And I told him that I wanted to make a difference and I want to help my community. And he let me ramble on for a while. And then when I was done, he was like, okay, all of those things are great. They make you a humanitarian, not a business owner. And he was the one who told me, he's like, you know, you have this great service and you're offering it at like a great value price. So to someone like myself, we don't know that we're going to get the value of what you're actually bringing. And so that gave me the confidence I needed to raise my price. It gave me the confidence to go after my actual client that I actually prefer to work with. And it really just changed everything for me. I don't think without him kind of giving me that push, I don't think I would have gotten to this point or position. Wow, the benefits is just having a coach that holds you accountable. They set goals with you. That's been my favorite part. She has amazing experience, and so she brings her strategies and her ideas, and she helped me narrow down, what services I actually wanted to offer, how I could actually continue to offer it, how many clients at one time could I have. All of the information that she's given has just really transformed my entire company. And so I know I would have never gotten to where I am today and having some of these partnerships that I'm, having now without her help. Going to get information that you're not going to find on YouTube. You actually take the time to strategically give us the information, then give us time to actually apply it. I would also say that so that you're not just out on a ledge alone trying to figure this out. Like, you deserve to be in a community with other people who also want to grow their business. And then finally, the biggest thing I think I took away from CMET was that I had a whole office in Longwood, I still do, and at the time I had not paid my business tax receipt. I didn't know that was something you had to do. So that was like one of the first couple days of information, and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me go get that together right now. So I'm really glad that, CMET was there for myself, and anybody else who has the opportunity, they need to do it.
I was born and raised in southeastern West Virginia, the coal fields. My father was an AME minister. For me, I was very fortunate. Even though I grew up in the segregated South, I was surrounded by flourishing Black businesses, doctors, lawyers, bankers, dentists. They were all there and they were all successful. And I guess that's part of my dream, is to see that success come back. My name is Joseph Simmons, and I am the founder of the Center for Micro-Entrepreneurial Training. We have this moment in time where we can change the trajectory of people. And our focus is on women, Black and brown entrepreneurs, and their access to capital, their ability to build thriving businesses, the ability to employ people. There's a study that showed that in those three communities, especially Black and brown communities, $1 stays in those communities for 30 minutes. In white community, $1 stays in their communities for 8 hours. So think about it. For you in a Black or brown community to get gas, to get food, to go to a restaurant, you've got to leave your community, take those dollars out of that community and take it to another community that's already being well served. So if we can reverse that, if we can go from 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours, that's progress. That's what we need to do. I was with SCORE. And then in May of 2020, of course, the events happened in regards to the murder of George Floyd. The other thing that I was experiencing was the denials of federal funds for small businesses. And it revolved around one thing. These businesses were not being prepared for grants and for government programs. And I came up with the idea for the Center for Micro-Entrepreneurial based off those two things. Morgan Stanley had a report out in 2020, first quarter, and it talked about there were 3 groups that were massively devastated by COVID-19 on their business. That was 1, women, number 2, Black, and number 3, brown entrepreneurs. The research showed that they had less cash on hand, they had less opportunity to go into a bank and get money, and they were very dependent on family and friends to keep their business up and running. If we can focus on those 3 groups, then we can have a dramatic impact on our communities. Really, the focus is on 3 areas. And those 3 areas are 1, the people, number 2, the courses, and number 3, a support network. Here at CMET, we will provide you with the fundamentals for generational success. And you will be creating a vibrant community by attending our 5-day immersive training course.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Carrie Jackson, and I'm your business moderator for this evening session of the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Today, we have with us Kiera Taylor. Kiera Taylor, the owner of Keys Specialty Tea, is the only Reiki-powered tea brand in the world. 100% organic, gluten-free, created to combat chemotherapy side effects when the owner's grandmother was diagnosed with cancer and other health complications. Reiki is a Japanese form of healing. The technique is to channel energy into the patient or objects by means of touch to restore physical and emotional well-being. All teas can be reused up to 3 times and still have the full effect. I present to you Kiera Taylor.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kiera. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So can you walk us through the process of creating a Reiki-powered tea and how you incorporated this unique energy into your products?
Of course. Well, Reiki power, as you described before, is all within energy healing. So after you gather your herbs that you would like to use, in my case, that were all medically tested for certain reasons, whether it was for heart strength or digestive health, so on and so forth. When you create that blend, you're sending prayer into it, setting intention into them. Some people have heard of charging crystals before. It's kind of similar, but you're sending prayer through it and your intention through it while making your product. God bless you. So that is the main creation of it being Reiki powered.
All right. Thank you for the God bless you. How did your grandmother's diagnosis of cancer and other health complications inspire you to create Keys Specialty Tea? And what are some challenges?
Thank you for asking. My grandmother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer back in 2017. She had to take multiple medications, of course, along with starting treatment of radiation, just multiple medications for cholesterol, high blood pressure, so on and so forth. Ended up being at least 4 or 5. So I just wanted to create something that was more of a healthier way and more natural way for her to lessen her medications and also to somehow help with her healing as well. And it did eventually end up helping. She did have to reduce some medications because of the nutrients that she was gaining from the tea. So the end goal definitely helped.
My mic is muted. As the only Reiki-powered tea brand in the world, do you believe Reiki plays a significant role in the health benefits of your teas?
Absolutely. I'm a Reiki master, and it's just been helping me myself personally strengthen my mental health, which I definitely believe is very strong to start with because it is connected to our physical health. Which I am currently inspired me to currently gain my second master's degree as a licensed counselor at the moment. I have 1 year left. So I definitely think that Reiki is a huge benefit to my creations and my overall goal.
Okay. So what makes Kia's specialty tea 100% organic, and why was this an essential aspect of your product line?
So key specialty tea herbs are 100% organic because I wanted to make sure they were all medically tested, and that they were as the purest of forms from coming out the ground and being picked. Just lessen any chemicals and anything that may pretty much be a detriment to the end goal, which will be improvement of health. Which I teach a lot of people and help people that are interested in getting their products online, as I have the only sea moss iced tea on Walmart.com. My Nana's favorite flavor has been the only sea moss iced tea and still is for the last 2 years. And I am looking at future placements in Kroger and HEB as well. So the thing that a lot of business owners, especially in food business, do not know is that the stores require shelf life, and what shelf life requires is chemicals. So which defeats the main purpose of the creation of the tea and the end goal. So it's very important for the herbs to be organic.
Okay, so you mentioned that your teas can be reused up to 3 times and still have the full effect. Can you explain the science behind this unique property?
Yes, of course. Well, it's medium-sized tea bags, and what you can do is reuse them. A lot of people like more than one cup of tea, so a lot of my clients, I've noticed, pour them a second glass, but I always remind them you can use it one more time. And if so, it comes in the tube, my packaging, where you can store it back in the tube or pouch and then place it in the refrigerator. The next day or whenever you would like to come back to it, you just refill it with the hot water to gain that full effect for that one last time. Sweeten it with your honey or your lemon, however you may add to it. But it's because of the tea bags that my company uses and the amount that we provide in the tea bags as well.
Okay. So you conducted scientific studies and research that link up with your health. Would you like to explain that a little bit more?
Yes, of course. Just working with Baylor, different people that were studying medicine at Baylor, and just testing. I had a lot of help with my grandmother's friends that were in as well, cancer patients as well. Just doing trial and error and just really finding a blend that, or 3 blends, because I started off with just 3 flavors that pretty much combated the majority of the health issues, or really just the main nuances. And I started off with those 3 flavors and just expanded from there.
Okay, so how do you select and source your ingredients, and what kind of quality control measures do you have in place?
Yes, of course. So all of the herbs have already been tested and things when it was first created. So now it's just really the research that has been put into to find out which herbs and what's the target goal of the tea, and which herbs help, which herbal blend helps to best treat that and that goal for health, whether it's eyesight, brain health, heart health, immune system boosting, allergy relief, so on and so forth. So it's just about putting the blend, doing the research, and combining that blend that will actually combat whatever the problem is at hand.
Okay, so I guess this question is more on, you said you had an original blend. So if you could describe what your original blend is, and then do you create additional blends depending on the needs of the person, or do you have some standard blends that typically have like certain components?
Oh, great question. I do have a standard blend that has certain components that I keep protected for copyright and reasons. But I do base that blend that I have, and then I add whatever. Say it's eyesight, I'll add the herbs that go with that. That's targeting that. If it's hormone imbalance, I'll make sure to add the raspberry leaf and other ingredients and herbs that directly focus on helping that issue along with the actual original blend.
Okay. All right.
Good
So,
question.
so are your teas gluten-free? And if so, what certifications or testing did you undergo to ensure that they are gluten-free?
Yes, my herbs are FDA. My items are FDA approved. So as I stated in the beginning, everything using students and the cancer patients for help that are studying medicine or already graduated to help just clarify and test the herbs, as well as providing the research that to find out what the herbs actually target, allowed me to be able to put those blends together and to make sure they were gluten-free because you have to, when you send out all your information, they test it. So just making sure that all the information was correct and send it to the certification.
Okay. So how does Reiki energy in your teas affect the overall flavor and aroma of products?
So how does my blend affect the flavor and aroma of the products?
No, how does the energy that's infused into the tea affect the overall flavor and aroma of the products?
Oh, great question. Really funny. I think because I didn't start off, again, this started off to help my grandmother, not for it to be flavorful or anything. So that was never my original goal. So when I actually was tasting it myself and getting others to taste it, doing trial and error, getting feedback in the beginning stages, I was getting a lot of feedback like, oh, this is good. And, that's what it sounds like. Really, it's good. It's not, it wasn't intended to be, at least just intended to help heal you. So I've definitely received a lot of feedback that it's, that's why I tell people it not only heals you, but it tastes good as well. I have maybe only a couple that's like really strong, like my colon cleanse based tea and my liver and kidney cleanser. Those herbs are really strong in there, so it's like no way to make that taste like candy in any way. But for the most part, I've gotten a lot of feedback on the great taste. So I would say maybe the energy helps with the taste, even though that may not be the intent. So a really great question.
Okay. So can you share any success stories or testimonials from customers that have used your tea to combat chemotherapy side effects and other health issues?
Of course, I'll speak for my late grandmother who I lost in May of last year. It definitely helped her reduce her medications when she stayed persistent on it. It definitely helped my mom who has severe allergy issues. It helps her with her seasonal allergies. She doesn't get headaches. It helps her with her migraines and headaches. I've had a few patients reach out to me that had what do you call it? Maybe irritable bowel syndrome, or just having difficulties with their bowel movement, and how the colon cleanser helped them immediately. My Slim Me Down challenge is how it just helped people lose weight and really maintain their weight if they were already at their goal weight. Just different teas that I have that I created to be for a certain thing. They end up helping someone else with something else. Like my stress assassin, that was just that was just a clear as day, just to help reduce stress and to mood boost, but it also helps with allergies, and it's a good cough I forgot what you call it, but it's a good cough suppressant. Thank you. So just having an intention on solving one thing, but it ends up solving other things has been a great experience getting that feedback from different clients and customers.
Okay. So how do you see Keys Tea, specialty tea, evolving in the next 5 years, and what new products or initiatives are you planning to launch?
Oh, awesome. Well, that's a great question. I see it evolving with more broader audience, more views and audience on it, more people knowing about it, bringing more awareness to it, more partnerships and placements in bigger companies and also exclusive companies, things of that sort. And it is also being combined with my music, as I am a singer. I'm a music artist. I mainly pop. So that was my branding to help me stand out, being that that is my background. So every title of the tea would be a title of my song, which will come from my album called Sips Tea, which I'll be releasing March 29th of this year. So that alone, just me utilizing music and wellness, which is my main thing, helps it stand out from the rest on side of it being the only sea moss iced tea on Walmart.com, soon to be only sea moss iced tea on other websites as well, and it being the only Reiki Power tea brand. So
okay, all right. And that's a sea moss iced tea that has no preservatives, gluten-free, no chemicals, right? All
yes.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, you have to say that because, nowadays they're like, well, what's in your tea bag? I got
yes.
it.
All of my ingredients, I have to protect my blend, but that's all natural herb mix. But all the ingredients on there is the ingredients used. Real lemon juice, because I squeeze the lemons. I make this myself, squeeze lemons. I use raw honey and very little pure cane sugar because I'm really big on the sugar intake. So I use little to no sugar, mainly a lot of honey, which you taste everything in the tea. And that's my iced teas, of course, not speaking on my herbal blend. My herbal blend, the ingredients are all in the bag, and a lot of customers like the fact that you can see the ingredients as well.
Okay. So your sea moss iced tea, is that a special blend that also has sea moss in it? Like, is that how that is?
Yes, it has a special blend. It contains bladderwrack, it contains chamomile and other herbs, mainly the sea moss in there as well with hibiscus. And it's blended up with a real lemon juice and natural raw honey. So it's called Nana's favorite as it's been my bestseller and a customer favorite because people are scared of the sea moss, but a lot of people that are wanting to get into the health, they weren't afraid to try it, and a lot of people were pleasantly surprised at how good it was. Just it being really sweet with the hibiscus and the honey combination. You can smell the sea moss in there, but it's not, the taste is not overpowering, and that ended up being my bestseller. So
okay, all right. What kind of training or certification did you undergo to learn about Reiki and the applications in tea making?
Yes, herbalist. I have a herbalist certification, just learning different herbs. As I stated in the beginning, trying to make sure that I do the research to find out which ones help with what, as well as I'm a Reiki level 3 master as well, learning how to place my energy into different objects, different people, learning how to heal myself and learning how to heal others, teaching others how to utilize that in their business practices or just for personal uses as well.
Okay. All right. Have you collaborated with any healthcare professionals or wellness experts to further validate the benefits of your Reiki powered teas?
I have not yet, but I am definitely looking forward to it. I just left a convention in LA. Well, it was Anaheim, California, that has a huge engineering and music convention every year, and they had a wellness and music side, and I was trying to network in there. I kind of have a intimidating, I guess, presence about myself, and especially when I'm trying to network with other people. And I state my whole purpose is in this room to network and collaborate with others. And sometimes I get, well, you can reach out to the people in your area. So I get those. So I have not ran into the right people to collaborate with, but I know that God is doing the work to place those people in my life, and it's going to be very meaningful and long term. So I'm definitely looking forward to collaborations on that at any front. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So how do you ensure that Reiki energy in your teas remain intact throughout the whole, like the production and the distribution process?
Well, because I am the creator, which is why it's not mass production. I'm the creator. I am personally hand making all of my products. So it's ensured that it's properly cared for and properly portioned through all my products.
Okay. Can you share a unique or interesting fact about the history of Reiki and its origins?
Yes, well, Reiki comes is a Japanese form of healing. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people, I used to use an example when you hit yourself, like if you bump your elbow or hit your knee or something, your instinct is to touch it or put your hand over it just to kind of heal it a bit. You instantly, just that hand, the healing of your hand and your attention to heal it. It calms it down. It makes it feel better. Well, the Japanese have been practicing that along with meditation, sound healing, the power of frequencies, things of that sort, for a very long time. And just to learn how powerful those teachings are and how I can utilize them to strengthen my mental health as well as my physical health has been a very powerful journey thus far. There was a such thing called happy water as well. Not sure if you ever heard of it, but it was a bottle of water, happy water. That's Reiki powered water. That's all that is. And it you drink it, and the electrolytes and the whatever is in there, all the energy is in there, allows you to have a mood boost because those were the intentions that were set in that water. So that's another example of a Reiki product as well.
Okay. So what advice would you give to entrepreneurs or business owners who are looking to incorporate alternative healing practices into their products and services?
Oh, wow. First of all, keep going. Don't get discouraged. Most importantly, make sure you're pouring into yourself. That's something that I'm learning as I'm earning this counseling degree. It's so mandatory for self-care. I preach self-care because you can't pour from an empty cup. So try, and anybody that's in a field of service gives of themselves a lot. So making sure that you're really taking those practices on for yourself and for your own benefit, paying attention to burnout, paying attention to how your body feels and what your body is telling you. Because if you don't listen, it will make you at the most inconvenient times. So just making sure that you take care of yourself. I think that is the most important advice that I can give, especially people in fields of service.
Okay. Do you have any lessons learned in, getting or going through the production process, to get your alternative? Because you are the first to have, a Reiki powered energy in places like Walmart and breaking that barrier. Do you have any, advice for someone that may want to break those barriers, some lessons learned, so to say?
Absolutely. Standing firm in what you believe in and what your goal is, especially for your product. You see a lot of businesses that build their business up, and then once they sell it, it's not the same. I know for us women of color and me being natural, any of our natural women, we know that, certain products, they started out being Black owned, and once they sell it, has alcohol And it's like it defeated the purpose of the product. So please stand firm, even, know what your end goal is, know what you want your legacy to be when it comes to your product and your company. When it comes to placements with big companies such as Walmart and other companies as such, I had to turn down and refuse a Sam's Club opportunity because of those shelf life requirements that I mentioned earlier. So being able to stand ground within it and say, I might want to pass on this opportunity because it defeats the purpose of my end goal of what I want my product to represent. So sorry, what my product represent. So just knowing when to say no, when to say yes, and really standing firm on what you believe in and getting all the information, because all opportunities may not be the best for you and your end goal.
Okay, so now can you tell us how someone could get in contact with you, how they can find your teas, social media, website, email, telephone number?
Yes, of course. Well, you can find me at kiesspecialtytea.com. So KIES specialty TEA.com, or you can email me at kiespecialtytea@gmail.com. The Instagram and the Facebook, the social media sites are the same at kiespecialtytea.com or kiespecialtytea. And my phone number is 909-654-7539.
All right. So do you have a word of wisdom or empowerment mantra that you would like to share with everyone?
Oh, I got so many, but my favorite one always keeps me going. If you're breathing, you still have a purpose.
If you are breathing, you still have a purpose.
Yes, that's my favorite mantra, meaning no matter where you are in life, you always have a second and a chance to turn it around as long as you still have breath in you. So just keep going.
Oh, well, that is awesome. Thank you, Kiera Taylor, for your
Thank
time.
you so much. Happy Black History Month.
Yes, happy Black History Month. Thank you for your time and all of the great information that you have shared with us. And as always, genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe you'll stick around some longer. So what are your the teas that tend to sell out quickly?
My best seller, Nana's favorite, Cold and Flu Ninja. However, I have updated the names. Nana's favorite is still the same, but most of the names are updated to my song titles. So my customers were really excited about that. Same blend, just different name change to go with my song titles. But Nana's favorite, my Sea Moss tea, has been the best seller thus far, and my Stress Assassin.
So Nana's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nana's favorite.
Well, that is great.
Thank
Again,
you so much for having me.
Yes, can you tell us how to reach you again, please?
Absolutely. You can reach me at my website at kiespecialtytea.com. That's KIES specialtytea.com. Or you can email me at kiespecialtytea@gmail.com. That's KIE specialtytea@gmail.com. Also, my phone number is 909-654-7539. I want to thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being on the show. We enjoyed you. It was a great time, a lot of great information. I'm actually excited to hear about your cheese, and I'm gonna go and look it up on. You said they're in Walmart, right?
On Walmart.com. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you
They're
tried
not in the stores due to the shelf life requirement?
Oh, okay. Have you tried places like Apple Crate?
I have not. I will look into that. I'm finishing up paperwork for the end of this first quarter for Kroger and HEB to see if I'll be able to have the product placement there. But I will definitely look up Apple Crate.
Apple Crate.
Apple Crate. Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I just know that it's a all natural store, and they tend to have, certain things, and the perishable shelf life, they tend to work with those in the homeopathic stores.
Perfect, because Whole Foods was another. Their process is kind of lengthy, so I'm waiting to do the paperwork with and communication with Whole Foods as well. So I will definitely check out Apple Crate. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, again, genius is common, and I will see you on the other side.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. The Expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App that is on the screen below, $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for January 2025, NC100, Suede Soul, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Black Business Olympics, Artistic App Design, Banks Law Firm, and Black Business Expo USA. Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
You are in the right place at the right time. The Black Business Network opens again for its Black Business Olympics, a 24/7 broadcast on business, strategies, global branding, social media marketing, finance, advertisement, and much, much more. Featuring the top, most powerful entrepreneurs and speakers and thought leaders from all around the world as they gather together for this phenomenal event. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City USA, Black Multiverse, Pod TV, Roku, Hulu, iHeartRadio, Apple TV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, IBM TV, Spotify, and Twitch. Tune in today and be a part of this amazing movement. The Black Business Olympics welcomes you.
What if you could build your own?
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices to be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you, the marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has the power to shape their own destiny, where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have a chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution, a movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaugh, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaugh explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
How you doing? I'm Rodney Allen Rippey. Yeah, the child actor. Well, now, leading man. Some of you might remember back in the day, the Harlem Globetrotters popcorn machine. Remember that? Well, it was a Saturday morning.
La connexion. La connexion.
In a world obsessed with the cult of celebrity, I challenge you not to aspire to anyone else's greatness, but instead strive to reveal and ignite the greatness within you.
Are you serious?
I totally think that that's it.
Hey. No! Hey! To me, sexy is a man that knows knows who he is and what he wants. He's comfortable. You look at him, you see him, he's just comfortable being himself. And you're like, baby, be you. Be you, baby.
Just be you. I like it. Introducing the Be You collection, exclusively available at K&G Fashion Superstore.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11 I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
So what we have to do is when we get in a spot, we need to create some spots for us. That's the main thing. We need to be able to be in a position where we're able to create those spots for us. For me, being an entrepreneur, I'm not just going to get a business and then leave you sitting high and dry. If you ask me some questions about entrepreneurship, I'm going to give you as much as I've received. I've seen people who made it, and then when you ask them, it's like, okay, now you have to pay me for the information, the same information I got for free. We probably in totally different cities. There's no way that we're going to bump heads or anything. We're not competing. Bring me up with you. And so I just think that whatever education that I have, then I need to be able to give that to my own as well. So create the spots. You can create the spots when you get there.
At 5-Star BDM, we don't just elevate brands, we forge industry icons. Our mission is to amplify your business and personal brand through dynamic AI-enhanced strategies and an elite professional network of over 20,000 experts. We empower entrepreneurs and small to medium-sized businesses to lead, scale, and transform. Our powerful network accelerates your speed to market and connects you with unparalleled growth opportunities. If you're ready to lead, we'll position your brand to set the industry standard. Explore our comprehensive services designed to build your brand, drive growth, and innovate your business. From personal branding and business development to technology solutions and investment banking, we offer tailored strategies that deliver measurable results and help you dominate your market. Our personal branding service uniquely tailors your professional story. Starting at just $99 per project, we offer online courses, in-person workshops, and scheduled weekly calls. Perfect for individuals beginning their personal branding journey, we help you craft a legacy that commands attention and respect. Strategic plans and execution are at the heart of our business development services. We focus on sustainable growth, helping you secure funding, scale operations, and expand your market reach. Our expertise ensures your business thrives in competitive environments. Innovate with custom artificial intelligence, machine learning, and software solutions tailored to your needs. Our technology services are designed to enhance your business operations and drive efficiency, ensuring you stay ahead in the digital age.
Discover real stories and real results. From healthcare startups to tech entrepreneurs, our clients have achieved extraordinary success.
For instance, a healthcare brand transformation led to a 40% drop in patient infections, showcasing our impact in diverse industries.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Carrie Jackson, and I am your business moderator for this session of the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our speaker for this hour is Taylor Andre. Taylor Andre is a powerhouse, an accomplished real estate expert, media personality, and fearless advocate for equity and empowerment. As a trusted real estate professional, she not only helps individuals achieve home ownership, but also educates them on financial literacy and generational wealth. Beyond real estate, Taylor is a dynamic radio host and an executive producer, sparking critical conversations on politics, social justice, and community change. Her advocacy work extends to initiatives like the White Stadium Project and leadership roles in organizations like C-Plan. A dedicated mother, author, and mentor, Taylor Andre is a trailblazer committed to breaking barriers and building legacies. I present to you, Taylor Andre.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Very well. Very excited to be here.
All right. So, from hosting thought-provoking radio segments to closing international real estate deals, your career spans so many spaces. Mm-hmm. How do you connect the dots between the roles to create a cohesive vision for who Taylor Andre is?
I think it's about being authentically who you are. When you kind of look at it on paper, real estate, radio, financial literacy, politics, they don't exactly like line up. They don't, merge together like a perfect puzzle piece. But when you think about who is Taylor Andre, whether it's one of my clients or someone who's just met me, you would know that that makes sense. And so just being my authentic self and being able to express myself in all ways that I know how to is how I'm able to kind of piece them together in a meaningful way where it does not just make sense, but work together cohesively.
Whether it's through political activism, real estate, or your work with organizations like C-Plan and Spark FM, what drives you to challenge the status quo in so many industries? And actually, can you go in to explain what C-Plan and Spark FM are?
Yes. And so I am the founding member of C-Plan, which is the Collaborative Parent Leadership Action Network. It came out of a need here in Boston, Massachusetts, where parents were forced to make decisions on our children's education without being properly informed on what those decisions, regardless of what, we were voting on questions. And regardless of how we voted on questions, we weren't exactly understanding what that meant for our children. And so my biggest thing is about informed decisions. I want to make sure that I have all the information that I need in order to make an informed decision for not just the right now, but long term. And we know politically it is sometimes our people are known for voting against our best interests. And so it was important to me to have a better understanding of what did this vote mean at this time? And not just that, what other rights do I have as a parent? I know my responsibilities, but what are my rights when it comes to my children's education and the decisions that are made on the political level? And so C-Plan was birthed out of that need to give parents control and a better understanding so they could make informed decisions that benefited their children's future, not just current in the moment decisions. And so being a founding member of C-Plan and now a board member means the world to me. It means that I get to help other parents be educated so they can make better decisions for their children, regardless of what that means or the circumstance or situation that that child may be in. Next Leadership Development is another board that I sit on. That's a nonprofit that specifically focuses on Black people. And so we have a lot of organizations that are for the betterment of the community. And Next Leadership Development Corporation, or Next Leads, as it's affectionately known, is a nationwide organization that's what do Black people need on a policy level? What is it that Black people need? And when, we take a look at DEI initiatives and who benefits, seldomly is it Black and brown people that benefit, but it's mostly white women. So while we are, for the betterment of the Black people, we have seen years after years, decisions after decisions, that it means that when the tide rises, all boats lift. And so I say that to say that for me, I believe very much so that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And so I'm motivated by the desire for what makes sense and what is for the good of all, with a specific lens on how does it benefit people that have been marginalized every step of the way.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It sounded like it broke off for a while. Yeah, that's awesome. So as a mom, mentor, and mogul, how do you balance the deep personal aspects of your life with the public-facing roles of radio personality, author, and community leader?
And so I think, if I'm being honest, sometimes I feel like a failure, like I'm not doing a good job, right? They say that women can't have it all. And I'm not just those things, right? I'm also Taylor. I'm also a woman. I'm also a sister. I'm a mom. I'm a cousin. I'm a best friend. I'm a real estate agent. I am a mentee. So sometimes it does feel like I'm not doing the best job when I haven't seen my best friend in months. And then stop everything and say, listen, I'm outside, open the door. And so I say that to say, when it comes to entrepreneurship, and I've been an entrepreneur since I was 13, I've never held an actual W-2 job. I've never had insurance. I've been an entrepreneur since 13 when I was doing the paper route. I just understood what it meant to be of service and what it meant to provide a sense of joy and peace, and the exchange that people are willing to pay for information, relationship, and just overall service as a whole. it's been a journey. And I think, if I'm being honest with not just myself, but those that are like, I want to be an entrepreneur, it is a difficult space to navigate. Because am I being the best mom that I can? Am I being the best real estate agent? Have I sold enough books this year? And so it's like meeting those goals and meeting those deadlines, but also understanding that as a parent, that is my first responsibility. That is my real legacy. It really doesn't matter how much money I made, even though it does fund the lifestyle that I desire to give my children. At the same time, a lot of children don't really care about what it is that you can give them, but what type of attention, what kind of affection, what kind of support can you feed me, versus, how many trips did we take this year? Because you can have the same interaction and the same love and the same laughs right in your living room.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. So real estate is more than just buying and selling properties. It's about building community. So how does your work as a political advocate and radio host influence the way that you approach to creating spaces where people can thrive? So I guess, how does what you do, advocacy portion, influence what you do as a real estate? Do you also invest? Are you just a realtor, or do you do
No. Yes, investments, first-time home buyers, people that are now down looking to sell their home. And you want to know, on topic, off topic. So I built my entire platform off of do not sell grandma's house. Generational wealth is making sure that we keep it in the family. Don't sell grandma's house. Find a cousin, a family member. And I had to face my own challenge. We recently, as in the last 10 days, sold grandma's house because it was unmanageable. Our elders purchase properties that are not feasible for them in their elderhood. Stairs are impossible at a certain age, and not having family that were properly prepared to absorb that asset. It was probably one of the hardest things that I had to do, was acknowledge the fact that we were I don't think it even hit me yet that we did end up having to sell Nana's house, because nobody, and none of the younger cousins, none of the grandbabies, the neighborhood had some alterations that were not in the best benefit. And so it was difficult to navigate that space, and to have a better understanding of what does that mean for my clients. Because it's one thing to be like, don't ever sell grandma's house. It's completely different to say, listen, let's go through these checklists first to see if there's a solution here before we have to do this thing that we may ultimately have to do, right? And so again, going back to informed decisions, what does it mean as far as generational wealth is concerned? And not just the house, but what does that look like as far as probate is concerned? Because unless, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I have a will, I have a poor man's will, I wrote everything down, I have a power of attorney. Unless you have a trust, your family is going to fight for everything that you have or have not. And so for me, real estate is so much more than buying and selling. It's about building a lasting foundation and ensuring that if we do have to sell Nana's house, what are we doing with the proceeds?
Yeah.
Instead of buying vehicles, instead of splurging, instead of doing all of these things that we wish we could have done if we had this liquid cash, where are we going to park it that's going to help us be prepared in the future, for the generations coming? And so navigating difficult conversations that make people think differently about what the future can and should look like.
Wow. That is awesome. And you highlighted a lot of truths that we fail to recognize. And it's almost like you don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, but you know that the elephant in the room needs to be talked about. No one likes on how the family is going to get torn apart at grandma's funeral or this funeral. And there's so many ways now, where we can prevent it. But at the same time, it requires us to have that hard conversation that sometimes we don't want to have. And then when we do, it's typically too late.
Yeah.
So what role does storytelling play in your life, whether you are on the airwaves, mentoring a young entrepreneur, or helping a family find their dream home?
I think I think storytelling, like when you think about our history, when we think about our favorite movies, when you think about our favorite bedtime stories, it's telling you a story. When we think about the Bible, not everything in the Bible is actual and factual. It's sometimes a parable. It's a story to help you relate, to help you understand. And for many of us that, the fire's hot, the fire's hot, the fire's hot. And then they touch the fire, just like, damn, that's hot. It's just like, I tried to tell you. But if I tell you the story about the sun that flew too close to the sun, the man who flew too close to the sun, melted his wings and fell to the ground, it's just like, that's imprinted in you. You now don't just think fire is hot. You're like, listen, the fire is so hot that it can melt my wings and I'll fall to the ground and die. So it's like, it's a different type of impression. It's a different type of memory spark. And as humans, we gravitate more towards storytelling. And I have a 21-year-old and a 19-year-old. And I remember when they were both little, they used to be like, Mommy, can you tell me a story? And so I would just tell these stories that they would fall asleep to. And they would just be like random things that I wanted to teach them, but didn't think that they would listen to if I was just like, don't be in the car with a friend if you think a friend has drugs because you have drugs too. It's completely different when I'm talking about, the kids were together and they were riding their bikes together, and one kid threw a rock through the window and all of them got in trouble. It was just like, all of them got in trouble. And now my kids to this day is just like, hey, don't be with those friends that throw rocks through windows because you're going to be the one getting in trouble for it. So it's like,
you're going to be getting in trouble for them.
Yes. And so it's like you remember things differently, and you kind of take these stories more affectionately than just, someone told me a story about a thing, or someone told me not to do this thing. It's just like, no, I remember the story that pulled on my emotions and made me excited, made me scared. And that's how I tend to, talk to my clients in real estate. And I wrote a book, Finally Home, the step-by-step guide for people preparing for first-time home ownership. And in the book, I give the example. So if your cousin who has never paid anybody anything back ask you for $100, are you going to give that $100 to them knowing you're going to get it back? Or are you going to give that $100 to them knowing that you will never see it again? Or are you not going to give them that $100 at all because of their history? Versus your best friend says, listen, I need $1,000 right now. And you go get that $1,000, give it to best friend because best friend's going to make sure you have it back in your hand, and maybe possibly with interest. And so it's just like, oh, absolutely. I'd give my best friend, like I got a cousin that I wouldn't give $10 to. And that example, that story is like, damn, that's just how credit is. And so if you have bad credit, why would I give you more knowing that you didn't know how to be responsible with what I gave you previously? Why would I give you a mortgage if you couldn't handle a $5,000 credit card? It puts it in a different type of perspective. It's just like, damn, I didn't think about it like that. You're right.
Yep.
So I think storytelling is the ultimate way of teaching. And when you think about history, especially Black people in history, that's how we shared most of the knowledge that we have today. A lot of the things that we do as Black people, we have no idea why we do them, but they were told to us in story and showed to us in real life. And, we are attached to them in that way.
Yep. Yep. So your ability to navigate media, business, and advocacy is unique. What's one skill or mindset you've developed that helps you excel in these diverse places?
It's gonna break. It's not gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. It's not. It is a raging river, and you do not control it. You just navigate it. And so I think that's one of the things that has helped me the most, like especially in real estate. Those transactions don't never go the way you think they're gonna go. Buying, selling, you think this is going to be the easiest transaction. It ends up being absolute nightmare. The ones that are just like the husband and wife want to, chop each other's heads off, those end up being the smoothest transaction. I expect the absolute best to happen. But then I'm also mindful that it could go absolutely to left field. And if it does, I believe enough in God that no matter the valley, no matter the mountain, he, she, they has my best interest at heart. And so if it didn't happen the way that I thought it was going to happen, it's because I am being protected from something that I do not need to experience.
Wow.
And if that's the case, then, case or whatever will be. But I do, for the most part, think that, humans innately are good. People innately want to help you. And for the most part, people have your best interest at heart, because I do believe that I treat people the way that I want to be treated. So I'm going to be surrounded with the same people who desire to be treated the way they treat other people, the way that they want to be treated. And if there's an anomaly that takes place and someone wants to mistreat me, let me tell you about my God. Good luck.
Yes.
He don't play about. So
that is awesome. I hear that. Okay, so as someone who advocates for equity and diversity in both real estate and politics, what's one systemic change you would like to see, and how do you use your various platforms to advocate for it?
Don't make me cry, girl. I truly wish that. So being a Black woman in real estate, I understand that a lot of my peers do not understand history. And so in the book, Finally Home, the step-by-step guide for people preparing for first-time home ownership, the first chapter is a historic timeline starting with Dred Scott not being human and him being property and not being a citizen and not being able to fight and sue for what was rightfully his, because you're not a citizen, you're property. All the way up to 2024, where people had to take all likeness of Blackness out of their house, have one of their white friends come over so they can get a proper appraisal. And so for me, I would love to see the National Association of Realtors do more than put out a press release that says, we're sorry for the harm that we caused. I would love to see what that study looks like as far as generational wealth and how much wealth was stolen from Black, Latinos, Asians during the time when the federal government and the National Association of Realtors worked together and was instrumental in the inability of Black people to purchase property. And so I think for me, there's not enough his, her, our story being told in regards to homeownership. And though a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I grew up in the hood, I grew up in a ghetto, what you don't understand is how that ghetto and how that hood was created on purpose for you to be and stay. And I have a client right now that lives in a predominantly Caucasian neighborhood. She purchased 2 years ago. Her daughter was recently had the police called on her because she looked like they didn't belong there. Luckily, the police officer that responded to the incident was like, yeah, no, go about your evening. I hope you have a good night. And so I wish that, because, you know, the National Association of Realtors, you have dues and they're heavy and they're monthly. I mean, they're monthly, yearly dues that you have to pay. I would love to see a percentage of that dues go towards first-time home buyers, specifically to right the wrong of Black home ownership that they stole from millions of people. And how do I use my platform? I talk about it. I run my mouth. And I know it's something that a lot of Black realtors, this is the first time I'm actually saying this out loud, but I released myself of my Rhode Island license because Rhode Island is one of the states that requires you to be a realtor in order for you to have access to MLS and to be a licensed real estate agent. And I went all the way up to the national level, fighting the national level that let me keep my license. I do not want to pay you. And they said, okay, that's cool. Then you have to pay for the opt-out version. And I'm like, the harm that you caused, I shouldn't have to pay nothing. So there should be a clause in there that says, hey, if they come to us and say that they don't want to pay because of the harm that we caused, they don't have to pay, leave them alone.
Yeah.
But they have a universal, and it's not all states, it's some states. And Rhode Island is one of them. And I released myself of my Rhode Island license because I'm not paying the National Association of Realtor dues when you have yet to pay your dues for the harm that you caused.
It is true.
And just talking about it and educating people and informing. And, you know, I know a lot of realtors that are Black and Latino and they don't know the history. And I tell them and they're like, well, I have an R next to my name. And so it is a little frustrating when that R is more important than, I don't want to say character, because I cannot judge someone's character because they want to practice in a certain state. But, you know, it's for them to say like it's a necessary evil. What am I going to do? Fight the establishment? And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what we do.
That's exactly it. So, with the information that you're bringing up, and I know a lot of people say that, you know, the Civil Rights Act was, it didn't really, you know, help, you know, Black people, that it was there for mainly for women and women rights. Do you expect to see a fallout from the changes that have been made to the Civil Rights Act affecting affirmative action and real estate, like the environmental standards that was passed in 1994, and with, you know, the apology coming out in 2024 from the Realtor Association, and then now the repeal of certain environmental factors for civil rights? Do you see that those things might actually change some perspectives or make someone dive into history more to learn more about what they have just pretty much surrendered?
I think if you've ever attended like a neighborhood association meeting or a community development meeting or like any type of advocacy meeting situation, you will find the same 15 faces in the room. Those are going to be the 15 faces that do the homework, that do the research, that do their due diligence. The other people are like, how does that directly affect me today? Oh, it doesn't. Surface level, it does not. So I'm not going to, bother myself with it. I think there are a selected few of us that do go through that rabbit hole and do seek to understand. And in our seeking to understand, we get frustrated at facts, do what we can for advocacy, and just understand this is a literal marathon, like your whole life. And when I was younger, I actually have a BA in poli-sci, in political science. I thought I was going to come out of college and change the entire world with common sense politics. But then you're young, you're naive, and you realize that the theory of politics is not the practice of the politics. And that whatever it is you think is right, whatever is currently happening that is wrong, is not going to be changed immediately. It's not going to be changed overnight. And it may not be changed in your entire lifetime. And so I think those that are invested will do what they can, and those that aren't won't. I don't think that's something that you can force people's hands with, but I do find it interesting that 60% of DEI hires are white women, which means 10 out of 10 people hired, 6 of them are white women. This is DEI practices. Black and Latino combined make up 36% of DEI hires, and Asian Americans make up 4%. And white women get promoted 2 times more often than Black, Latina, anybody else. And white women hold 32% leadership and managerial positions. Black women hold 4% of executive positions, and Latinas hold 2% of executive positions. I think it's important for us to understand the numbers. Black men hold less than 3.2% of CEO roles for Fortune 500 companies. And Black workers make up 12% of the workforce, but only hold 8% of professional roles. So I think it's important for us to know the numbers and for us to not just fly by the seat of what's being told to us. But we have Chat GPT today. There is no question that you can't ask that you won't get an answer to in 30 seconds or less. Then if you need even further, please explain further, it'll give you a whole dissertation. So, and then read it to you. So I think in this day and age, there's no excuse for you not knowing. It just shows your desire to not know.
Yes. But a lot of people don't want to recognize it, but your ignorance to the truth, your desire for the ignorance versus the truth. So what's one piece of advice that you consistently give your mentees, whether they are aspiring entrepreneurs, real estate agents, or community leaders, or other advocates? What's one piece of advice that you consistently give them?
Due diligence, informed knowledge. I think that's probably down to my children. The more information you have, the better decisions you can make. The more due diligence you do, the better you can navigate different spaces. And so you can never say like, I didn't know. Because if you even have a question, if there's any, like I just said, if there's any question you have,
Yep.
you can get a direct answer. And there's some even like complicated questions that you may not be able to navigate with a bot or with AI. But don't for a second pretend like we don't have elders out here that have lived their 70 years, lived their 80 years, lived their 90 years, and have their sound mind and their able body and experiences galore that you can pick from. That's probably my favorite demographic of human is elders and all that they have. Like if we just sat down with our elders, who would we be as a society if that was our first course of defense? If that was our first person to question? Now, let me be clear, not all our elders, not all elders are mature and give sound advice, okay? Because I got a couple elders that I would not ask any questions of. But there's a whole lot of them that if you just ask, they will talk for hours and give you everything you need to have the most successful, loving, happy life.
Yeah. That is, man, it is so awesome. It's been great talking with you, Tyler, Andre. Can you tell us the various ways that we can contact you, find out more about C Plan? If someone wants to buy a home in Massachusetts, just give us all the information, your social media, website, telephone number.
Yes. So it's everything Taylor Andre, TAYLA ANDRE. Finally Home, the step-by-step guide for people preparing for first-time home ownership, is not just about purchasing a property. I've made it mandatory for my children to read it, for their friends to read it, to get a better understanding of credit, budgeting, and financial literacy as a whole. And I have a 6-year-old. As soon as he turns 10, he'll be reading it as well. Aside from that, TaylorAndre.com. As far as real estate is concerned, I have an amazing team literally worldwide. And so I think it was really important to be build relationships, because I have clients that want to travel the world, that want to retire and live everywhere in the world. And so everywhere I travel, which that's probably my first love, relationships and how people navigate spaces as far as buying and selling is concerned, from Dubai to Ethiopia, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica. However I can help, I will. And if it's not me, it's going to be somebody that I absolutely love, respect, and know is going to take care of you. Taylor Andre, TAYLA ANDRE, for anything real estate, financial literacy. And I also do speaking engagements with youth and, of course, my elders.
Okay. All right. And can you put that book up one more time so we can see the cover and tell us where to get it?
Yes. So I turned into Master P. I said no. I used to actually sell them out of my trunk. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on my website. There's a few bookstores across the country that also carry the book. And not only is it a physical copy of the book, I also have an audio book and a PDF version that is on the website, and it's in Spanish with a PDF version and audio version. And one of the things that I would love to say is, if you are a small business, aside from being on C Plan's board and Next Leadership Development's board, I'm also an executive member of Spark FM, which is a radio international media platform. And so if you're looking to get your business heard from other Black businesses and people, Spark FM Online is spearheaded by a Black woman here in Boston, and we would love to air your commercial or promote your business. And so you can reach out to me for that as well.
All right. Well, thank you, Taylor Andre, for coming on and being part of this session of the Black Business Expo. It has been great. listening to you share your expertise and those lesson learns. And we've learned that, authenticity and due diligence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Have a wonderful evening.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high schoolers, seniors going to college, or K-12 entrepreneurs. The expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.theblackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App that's on the screen below, $BBX USA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. And we want to thank our Black Expo USA sponsors for January 2025. NC100, Suede Soul, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Margie McLean Foundation, Incorporated, Genius is Common, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Black Business Olympics, Artistic App Design, Banks Law Firm, and Black Business Expo USA. Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices to be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you, the marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has a power to shape their own destiny, where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have a chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution, a movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.
Sometimes you got to hear the news from the Black perspective, and more specifically, Black publishers. And that's exactly why you have to download the HeyTie app, the largest mobile app delivering breaking news, videos, and podcasts from 200 of your favorite Black publishers. Yes, 200 Black publishers delivering news as it happens, literally all in one app. Go to HAYTI.com or download the app in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. It's completely free, along with information that you can trust, so go check them out.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools. We help them implement lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hit my 6-figure income and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car.
Wow.
I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it. If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that? Well, for my social media guru, you can connect with me on every single social media platform as Tanya T. Morris.
Artist to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. You know, it explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions into what I do. Art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, you know, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do the pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at. The way I feel when I'm drawing, when I'm creating something, is I feel free. I feel like there is an anticipation of something that's going to come. I try not to draw first. I try to draw second. And what I mean by that is I try to allow myself to kind of get into the piece and just relax. Sometimes I miss time. I'll draw 2-3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. And while I'm drawing, it's just a free. I just feel free. I mean, I feel like time stands still. That's what it's all about in terms of the lines and the colors of my work, is to get an expression, to go deeper and past just what you see on the surface, but to go in and try to find an expression that everybody gets a different taste of what that expression is, whether it's anger or whether it's being happy or whether it's being, kind of calm or nonchalant. That expression that people take away from the piece is the most important part of what I do as an artist. Bold is the size of my pieces, where I try to do the piece larger than life, to kind of push forward toward you. That's what the boldness is all about. It's not so much about the lines, it's about the size. The Face of Change art show is inspired by my mother, but more importantly, it's a historical moment in time as the pieces depict different emotions and expressions of Barack Obama. The 44th president is indicative of the 44 pieces of art that I have done in this particular collection. When you begin to think about expressions and portraits, this is a portrait gallery of expressions of what transpired as Barack Obama ran for office. Some of the pictures are abstract and some are expressionistic. And I combined both of those forms of art to create this collection of art pieces. Overcomer, brilliant, ambitious, motivated, awesome. Obama.
Over the past few years, we've seen the growth of existing and new initiatives focused on financial inclusion, building global networks, and reducing the wealth gap in response to the idea there's not enough seats at the table. Whether their outcomes are to increase the representation of Black executives on corporate boards, ensure an inclusive global economy, or to create new U.S. African commercial pathways, the strategies are often carried out by separate programs. The question is, should they be? With the continent of Africa being home to more than half of the world's fastest growing economies, the youngest workforce, over 400 companies generating more than $1 billion annually, 700 generating more than $500 million annually that are poised for growth, and being the destination of nearly $5 billion in venture capital in 2021. Diversifying U.S. and Africa commercial engagement by building bridges between African businesses and their U.S. diaspora should begin being seen as mutually beneficial. From helping to reduce Africa's enormous capital gap to catalyzing two-way trade opportunities, the COVID-19 global pandemic hopefully has taught us that global challenges and opportunities are more interconnected than we thought. During the pandemic, African companies like Unicorn Flutterwave, insurance provider Reliance Health, ride-hailing app Yasir, and 54Gene, the continent's first bank of DNA on people of African descent, proved that when African companies have access to networks, capital, and information, they grow big, grow fast, and create solutions that are valuable to the world. This is why Be Direct was created. We are the first U.S.-based but African-centric board preparedness and board search company designed to connect U.S. Black talent and corporations to African businesses. Unique and fundamental to Be Direct's success is our process of helping board candidates adapt their experience and networks to an African context before they're connected to high-growth companies that are looking to locally and globally scale. From our focus groups with African business execs and government leaders, we don't ignore the sentiment that business is easy, but people are hard. Having a pool of board candidates with hard-to-access networks and extensive experience across the business life cycle, including successfully raising capital, is table stakes for an initiative like this. So yes, we have that. But corporate or entrepreneurial success in the U.S. does not guarantee success in Africa. Developed alongside industry partners on the continent, our training program, Be Direct Prep, is designed to transpose their experience to create cultural comfort, understanding, and a commitment to helping businesses in Africa scale. Our board governance sessions are African, continental, and country-specific, integrated with cultural awareness and dexterity training, masterclasses led by African industry execs, and mentoring and coaching from African continental-based facilitators. But even more unique to Be Direct Prep, we cap off our training program with an immersion trip to help candidates that have not been to Africa before see and feel Africa's complexity and opportunity from African soil. We all know traditional network-based board placement has historically left a lot of us out of ever really being in the paid board pipeline. Our strategy supports the work of many great organizations that are successfully filling seats at U.S. board tables by creating more tables for those that are still left on the sideline. It's time to start seeing the role and value of U.S. Black talent and businesses on the continent of Africa differently. Old perceptions and habits limit economic inclusion. Let's transition Black talent and the African businesses they will support from the periphery of the global economy to its core. Living in a global lockdown, we all know now how fast local and global economies can change and see the value of having businesses that hire, strengthen local value chains, and even grow globally. Status quo in any form holds back progress. We must democratize U.S.-Africa commercial engagement by socially and economically connecting cultures that have long been disconnected. It's time for Africa's U.S. diaspora to redefine their global value by helping African businesses scale continentally and globally.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Carrie Jackson, and I'm your business moderator for this edition of the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next speaker is Hassani J. Hines. Hassani J. Hines is a master cosmetologist, a barber, entrepreneur, R&B artist, and podcast host. With over 20 years of experience, she is the owner of Hassani J. Cuts, LLC in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and the only female barber at Barber Kings. A graduate of the National Beauty Culturist League Institute, she's now pursuing her doctorate in barbering and her instructor's license to train the next generation. Beyond the chair, she is the secretary of Cut My City, providing free haircuts to underserved communities and works with the Cumberland County Health Department on healthy conversations, tackling health issues through community engagement. She's also a dedicated volunteer, feeding the homeless, donating school supplies, and supporting single mothers. A rising R&B artist, Hassani's smooth vocals and island-fused sound can be heard in all major streaming platforms. She also hosts the Over Your Head podcast, covering relationships, businesses, and personal growth. I present to you Hassani J. Hines.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, Hassani, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. I'm a little tired, just getting off from my busy day. How are you?
I am doing well. So, what inspired you to become a barber and entrepreneur, and how has your journey evolved over the years?
Well, I actually started very, very young. I started sweeping floors for my stepdad in his barbershop. But before then, my mom and my stepdad did hair and barbering outside of the home for everybody in the neighborhood. And then it went into them getting their own shops and things of that nature. And then ninth grade, it was a curriculum at one of the high schools I was in Durham, North Carolina. And I took the class. So it was already embedded in me. I just took the class, got a little credit. And then when I was 18, I actually went to Paul Mitchell and I graduated, and I've been licensed since I was 21 years old. And I've always wanted to do something that I could be in control of, because I was just not good with being told what to do. I say that. So I had to find, there was just something that's just natural for me.
Okay. So as a master cosmetologist and barber with over 20 years experience, what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced in the industry?
It's not really challenges in this industry. If you
Okay.
you only get the challenges when you don't want to learn with the times. That's when the challenges comes in. So I try to grow with what's going on, the current situation of what's going on at the time. I take classes, I learn from other people, I still learn, and I still watch different people do what they do. So I really don't have the challenge of it. It's the difficulty is when the economy to shut down. That's the difficulty of this business, because it goes up and goes down, especially during the COVID time when they deemed us not essential, yet we are the ones that actually make people look presentable to go get the job or go, to feel good about themselves and things of that nature. So that would probably be a challenge, is the economy and where it stands for people with jobs and how the money comes in, because I service customers and I can't service the customers until they come to me. And they got to do that. So that's
It is true. It might be kind of difficult if they can't come to you
exactly
on how you can service them.
Right.
So what drives your passion to continue? I guess in a way you've talked about what drives your passion to continue the education, because you have to stay current with what's going on. Has the field changed a lot in the past 20 years?
It hasn't really changed. Only thing I can say is that they changed the lingo of it.
Okay.
So things that we've been doing, they now put new names on it. So that's the only change, but everything is still about the same. It's not going to change, because you learn chemistry, you learn anatomy, you have to learn the ins and out. You have to learn the basics and the foundation of the cosmetology barbering world. So it hasn't really changed. It's just young people coming in, changing the names.
Okay. So let's shift gears a little bit. I know that you are passionate about helping others and serving the community and helping underprivileged. So can you share how Cut My City is impacting the community and why giving back is such a big part of your mission?
Well, Cut My City is a great, great organization. Founder and owner is Dr. Sundiata Morris and Dr. Luma McQuow of Barber Kings. And they came up with this brilliant idea to help out underprivileged parents that cannot afford to, even the homeless, that can afford to pay for haircuts and things of that nature. And they go around and they actually travel out the country and do different things with the organization. When we're here in the States, and especially Fayetteville, North Carolina and the surrounding areas, they have this bus with chairs on there, so different barbers can come on and volunteer as well. And we go around to schools, churches, the homeless, different events, and we just cut, because it's what we love to do. We love to give back to the community on that level. Sometimes we have just different bags full of things that is needed, the necessities. We go to the colleges as well, and for like the young Black entrepreneur, young boys that's coming into the world, high school, college, or whatever. We go there to their expos, and we service them while they're in there listening to be trained for the betterment of their life. And it's a great program. So if everybody just would like to know about that, just cutmycity.com, and you can donate to the cause, and whatever you donate is helping everybody, for all of us to give back to the community. And we do book bag giveaways and haircuts before the school. Cut My City is the first in Fayetteville, North Carolina, to start with the Coliseum of cutting the actual whole county. It's not just one, it's like the whole county of, we work all day and different people come in and help us do stuff like that. So that organization is one of the best organizations I know.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us about your work with the Healthy Conversations program, and what are some key issues that you discuss with clients?
So the Healthy Conversations program comes from the Cumberland County Health Department, where Carlotta Winston is the overseer, I would say, for the barbering and stylist, barber, and cosmetologist here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And what we do is we have, we talk to mostly, because in our community, we all know the Black men or colored men, men of color, do not really get checkups, prostate health, heart checks, colonoscopies, and things of that nature. We also have it where we pass out prophylactics for young men or whatever to stay safe. And the conversation is an everyday conversation for people of color to go get checked, because the statistics shows that we, with them, men, don't really go to the doctor. Women, we always going for something. But it's a great program, and it's the Commissioner Adams. They all put it in forth, and we learned so much in there. We just did a class the other day where we learned about the opioids and things of that nature that's going on in our community. So they give us so much information. So it's not just about healthcare of the heart and the colonoscopy. It's about every type, from mental, everything. So that's an awesome program, and I love that. So we got barbers and stylists from our city that's doing that as well. And it's strictly based for people of color, because the statistic shows that we don't really get that.
Yes. So I'm getting ready to shift some more gears again. However, what I would like to know is, how do you balance being an entrepreneur, a R&B artist, a community activist and liaison, a mother? Like, how do you draw balance? There was a guest on yesterday, and they talked about, they don't like the word balance. It's more of a harmony. So how do you draw harmony to Hassani J?
A prayer. Through prayer. I believe with me is just, I love to help people, and I love to, if you don't know something, I love to give you the knowledge. I love to take knowledge and pass knowledge. Being a mom, I started as a young mother, teen pregnancy, and so a lot of things I didn't get growing up, from conversations on how to, what to, anything. So this part of me is like, I just want to share what I know and what I didn't, get growing up, and what I wasn't taught. Only balance, I rarely get sleep. I love music. That's my passion. I grew up in the church. So like, I come from music, from the choirs to the praise and worship. My grandparents both are pastors. Cousins all do music. They just all in the gospel world. I'm in the R&B world. And everybody asks this question all the time. Even my customers, they're like, how do you do all this? How do you do all that? I'm in school. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. If I sit still, I believe that I'm going to witter away. So I don't want to sit still until it's time for me to sit still. Because somebody needs me. I be needing people, but somebody needs me as well.
All right. So your music has an island influence, soulful vibe. How would you describe your style and who are your biggest influences?
Well, my style is, I would say my style is just the way I feel at the moment. My producer and I, we sit there and we just go with how I'm feeling. I don't write. I'm more of a freestyler, as they would put it. So when I go in off a vibe, I can wake up in the morning and be like, I gotta go lay this track because I feel it. My favorites artists are Anita Baker, Mary J. Blige, Adina Howard, Sade, and much, much more. But those are like my kind of like I put Sherilyn, like that's way back in our parents, but I put it in all together. I do listen to a lot of gospel because I grew up in that world, but I don't like to mix that with what I do because I'm not lukewarm. I'm either here or I'm either there. So my soulfulness and everything comes from the feeling. It comes from love, hate, pain, anger, joy. It just depends on what I'm going through at the moment. That's what I deliver.
Okay. So you recently performed at a boxing match that was held at Crown Complex. How do you prepare for live performances?
So I will take now. That's probably the only time I will take off from actually doing hair or anything. I take my whole day off, and I don't talk to people. I literally put myself in a little box, and I just listen to Jay-Z and Beyonce, and I prepare myself for my character because I go into a whole different character when I'm on stage. And that's just about it. I just meditate. I'm always nervous, to tell you that much. Hands be sweating and everything, but I'm like, yo, it's game time, it's go time or whatever. I actually have two shows of this month, actually February 14th in Charlotte, North Carolina for the Lovers Ball. And then I have one here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, February 22nd. I also got nominated for Female Artist of the Year 3 times in a row. So I'll be doing that March 22nd. I will be getting my award for that. But it's just a passion. I love doing music. And I love everything I do. I love doing it. It's a passion and I'm gonna give it my all every time. I won't eat. I just drink the water. And then I just walk around in circles and I get to praying like I pray, Lord, just let me go. Let me get through the song. Let me get through it. Let me get through it. And I just go and I just do what I do. It's in me.
Okay. So what can fans expect from your upcoming EP? And what message do you hope to share through your music?
What can you expect? Well, this might sound so different, but it's like a bipolar album. It has some stuff, and it's down and it's in and it's out, it's dance, it's slow, it's tearful, it's joyful. So it's something for everybody. You're gonna get dance, love. I won't say grief, but that moment when your heart is broken, things of that nature, how to come out of something. I literally write from experience only. When I do sit there, I write in my mind. So I'm writing as I'm feeling. Like today, I was just like, oh, and I'm like so ready to go, but I have so many ideas in there. So it's like, and it's for grown folks. Let's put this out there. The music I do is strictly for adults.
Okay.
It's strictly for adults. And I tell people that all the time. It is explicit, but it's for grown people. And things that we go through, things that somebody might go through, and it's good. I just can't wait for you guys to hear. This is my first EP, actually, because I'm always doing singles and videos. So this is going to be my first actual EP. I'm super excited about it. And I'm going to tomorrow I have a little snippet that I'm going to release, get done, and then I'm gonna release that. It's gonna be a snippet of one little song, not much, maybe like 30 seconds of it. So I'm excited to do that. And I just target the adults.
Okay. Have you experienced any challenges in the industry? Like, I guess let me step back in a way and make this a two-part. How long have you been an R&B artist? And then have you experienced any challenges that you've had to overcome, or, a lesson learned that you may want to share?
So, that's like a loaded question for me. I've been doing this for so long, and I've experienced a whole lot of things. Like I've worked with some celebrities, and it's a very what can I say without saying? It's challenging to be a woman in this industry. I'll say that. You're not really taken as serious as the males. Also, the sexual parts that people speak on, that is true. That is some true stuff. That it does happen. It is offered. It is said to you, and you just have to be strong in your stance to not take the bait, to not listen to that, to not bite on it, because they won't take you serious a lot of the times because you are female, and they do look at you as like the sex object or whatever. I've seen things, I've been through things, and at one moment I stopped the whole music industry because it was just very overwhelming. And it was like, at this point, you get to a point where you guys are not taking me serious unless you want to take me, or you want to have me, or things of that nature. And some of the people that y'all see that's going through things now, I've actually been encountered with some familiar things with those people, but I won't say too much. That's for a whole nother set, a whole nother podcast.
Pull your head.
Yes, Lord Jesus. But it's just, you just have to stay prayed up. You just have to stay focused. You have to go in there with the intent of, this is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do, and get up out of there and go. You just have to always be 10 toes down and always stay focused and go in with a clear mind.
Okay. So your podcast, Over Your Head, covers everything from relationships to business. What led you to start it, and what topics resonate the most with your audience?
So for years, people always ask me to do a podcast because they say I have a lot of interesting topics. I'm very outspoken, and it ranges from marketing. It ranges from like the music industry. Then you have single fathers that tell their story. And my podcast is basically for everybody. It's not set for one type of show. So I call it a podcast show because some people, it could be a chef on there that wants to, show that his cooking and he's a new cook or something like that. But I like to touch on different topics for everybody. Financial literacy, people that want to tell their story of the essays and things of that. realm or things of that nature. So I just started it so people can have an outlet to talk about their personal, where I don't necessarily have to go and reach the celebrities and talk to celebrities. I want to stay where I'm talking to actual people that other people can really relate to, and things of that nature. From even with young teen moms that's struggling, young fathers that don't get the chance to do certain X, Y, and Z, things of that nature.
Okay. So you're an advocate for small business and community engagement. What advice would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur?
Make sure this is what you want to do, because being an entrepreneur is not easy at all. It's like you can invest everything into that and then be sitting on nothing because you invested so much here, but this is what you want to do. There's no for sure funding. There's no checks coming in, things like that. You just have to really be strong, really be prayed up, market, promote, target your audience that you're actually looking for, and be careful of people that want to tag along once you, get started. People that come in and take your ideas, people that don't, they want to be a part of it and then they quit on you. So entrepreneurship is it's a hard thing, and you got to be focused. You got to be really strong-minded and go for what and just stand firm and stay focused on your goal, your outcome of what you're looking for. I know, being that I've been an entrepreneur all my life, I knew that this is the field that I want to be in as far as cosmetology, because we're like counselors as well. Somebody's in your chair and I'm behind the chair, and we're having a lot of discussions, and sometimes they can't go and speak to their loved ones or their friends and things of that nature. And there's a lot of teens that come in there and they can't speak to their parents, but they can come in there and it's like confidentiality, and I'm giving them the good advice that I would even give my kids. So entrepreneur, it's a lot. The head of an entrepreneur is big.
Okay. So beyond the barbershop and music, you also feed the homeless, you donate school supplies, and support single mothers. Why is community service so important to you?
Community service should be important to everybody, but for me, it's because, for one, like I said, as a teen mom, I got pregnant when I was 15 years old. And I graduated high school with 2 kids, but I did graduate. Also, I went to college, I've been to college, all that good stuff. And I don't like to see homeless people. And I've always, since I was a little bitty girl, wanted to get a homeless shelter. That was like one of my dreams. I hate when it's cold. I hate when it's hot and they're out there. And it's just, it bothers me so bad. So if I have it, I'm giving it. I big bags of clothes, and I collect things for people. And I love to go feed them. The look on their face is like somebody actually see me and they care for me, and things like that. Like I said, even with the young kids that don't have nobody to talk to and things of that nature, I love to do community service work. I know God is going to bless me one day, and he's probably blessing me and I don't see it, but I know that I am, because even on my darkest days, I'm still able to be a light for somebody else. Just helping people is just something that I like to do. And I love to teach my kids to be the same way. And they're very helpful as well.
Okay. Do you consider yourself, or have you going to be a peer support counselor or any of that?
After I get all these other school things out, I plan to get my life coaching licenses.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's down the list that I finished the school. So I'm always a peer helper because they just come and, oh, Miss Red and da 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 da. I'm like, okay, come on in here, talk to me. What we talking about today? And yeah, peer coaching. I think I've always been doing, but I'm going to certify myself and get the license for life coaching because that's just something I do on a daily basis.
Okay. All right. So looking ahead, what is next for Hassani J in business, music, and personal growth? I think you touched on it with a little bit, but go into detail with those schools and the training.
Yes. So I will be entering for my doctorates this year, 2025, at the Natural Beauty College League, and that is out of DC, Washington, DC. I will be getting my doctorates for that really soon. I'm also this month I will be going for my cosmetology instructor's license. It's just a whole lot of things I'll be doing. I'm gonna always stay with the health care community. I'm gonna stay doing that as well. I got my EP coming up. I'm working on that. Videos, the podcast, everything. This year, 2025, I'm just looking for more and more blessings from God to get me where I need to be. So just be on the lookout for Hassani J because I'm here and I'm not going anywhere.
So you are a part of so many different communities of people and networks. What do you think is a common thread that connects you to the people that you work with and serve?
Again, being a young mother, starting out there, because like I can talk to the young as well as the old because I was there and I'm here now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think it's so many. Like they say I'm sweet. That's what they say. I think I'm very easy to talk to, and I do listen. I love to listen to people's stories because I can relate to a lot of things that people go through. And I'm not judgmental. So that's really the number one thing is I have no room to judge a soul on this earth. I just know that I am a chosen one and I'm chosen from God.
Okay. So what legacy do you hope to leave behind for young women, aspiring barbers, and artists following in your footsteps?
So I believe that women in the barbering field, we need to get more of you guys out here. We actually pay more attention to precision. So we know what we're looking to do when we get into that space of barbering, that field. And if this is something you've always wanted to do, just stay on top of the current styles, the current situations that's going on as far as healthcare. Stay in Europe and don't stay in no lane. Try to always elevate. Elevation is always going to take you further and further, and that way you can get from behind a chair one day, because I do want to get from behind a chair and just teach. And as you're teaching, you're gonna be like, oh, and it's just a good. I love it. Just if you're gonna do it, just make sure you learning. Learning is key.
Now, what's the major difference like between being a barber versus being a cosmetologist?
So the major difference is chemicals. Cosmetology, you learn the chemical part of it. Barbering, there's no chemicals unless you are taking cosmetology. Cosmetologists can do everything. A barber only is set for barbering, and they learn bits and pieces. A cosmetologist learns the estheticians. They learn everything from nail techs. They learn all that stuff in one. But a barber has to go and take other classes. A nail tech will have to go and take these other classes. An esthetician has to go and take these other classes. But a cosmetologist has the umbrella where we can do everything. And the only thing it depends on your state also, a cosmetologist can't use a straight razor. That is barbering. So that's about the only difference there is.
Okay. So do you have a mantra, or do you have any advice that drives you that you would actually want to share with someone else?
My advice is to focus, elevate, teach, learn, stay out of the way, mind your business, and always stay prayed up. Keep God first, or whoever you pray to, but meditation and positivity. You always want to keep like going into the work area. You don't want to do politics. You don't want to talk religion. You want to stay as neutral as possible with everything. You don't want discrimination on no way, shape, form at all. So you got to have the love for people in this field, in the hair industry world. You got to have a love for people. You got to have a love for what you do, and you got to want to always learn everything that's going on, because it shows in your work, and it shows in retention, and it shows where that client is your actual walk-in business card. So if they feel good about you, if they feel confident and they're going to pass it on. So you just want to always stay positive in everything you do when it comes to this field.
Okay. All right. So Hassani, tell us where we could find you. Tell us where they could, get more information about you, your shows, maybe list your concerts, your upcoming concerts again, and the award show.
So you can find me on IG at Hassani J Music, HASANIJMUSIC. I am Hassani J on YouTube, and the easiest way to find any part of me is on Google. Just Google Hassani J Music, and my music will pop up, my IG page will pop up, my nail tech page, but yes, I do nails as well. So everything pops up on there, and I will have a website up soon for the music and how to get in touch with my shows and everything of that nature. But if you just go on my IG page, of my music IG page, I post all the time my shows of what's coming on and what's coming up next. So it's Hassani J Music on Instagram.
Okay. And Over Your Head podcast, when does it air? And
that airs every week, and that's OVAYAHEAD with Hassani J, and that's on YouTube. So that comes out like every week, and yeah.
All right. And then the upcoming shows that you may have?
So February 14th, I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina for the Lovers Ball. So if you're single, even if you have a friend, mate, husband, wife, whatever, come out there and do some grown folks. It's going to be R&B night. Then I have a show that's kicking off the tour February 22nd here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Then in March 22nd, there will be an award show for North Carolina here. And I will be receiving my award for Female Artist of the Year again. So I'm excited for that. And everything else, when it pops up, when it comes up, you just go to my Instagram and you'll see it. Also, all my videos are on YouTube as well, so you can go see my YouTube. But the best thing to do is Google Hassani J Music.
All right, Hassani J Music. So thank you, Hassani J, for your time and coming on here and sharing your expertise on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Black Business Network. I loved it. I love the name. Let's go, Black.
Yes, it was great. Thank you very much. And again, can you just share your contact information one more time?
You may contact me, HASANI, the letter J, MUSIC on Instagram. Best thing to do is to Google it, and everything literally will pop up. I'm on all music platforms. Whatever you got, I'm on there. I promise.
All right. Thank you, Hassani J. Hines, again for your time. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors, going to college, or K-12 entrepreneurs. The Expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App that is on the screen below. That's $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for January 2025. NC100, Suede Soul, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Black Business Olympics, Artistic App Design, Banks Law Firm, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is Common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Artist to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. You know, it explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions into what I do. Art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, you know, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Hi, I'm Eric Kelly III, and today I'd like to introduce you to my art. Welcome to the Eric Kelly III Museum, located in Durham, North Carolina. Today we're going to be discussing my art, my journey, and where I'm going next. You know, the past, the today, and the future. When I think about the beginning of my work, I have to go all the way back to when I was about 4 years old. And my grandmother gave me a pen, and I was in church. And I took that pen and I began to draw. And as I was drawing, later on, my grandmother said that the picture that I drew then looked like the choir that was in the church. And so my affinity for utilizing the ink pen to do work still happens today. Now, many times when we begin to talk about art, the question always is, what is the intent? Why do you do art? What makes you an artist? And so, as we look at my early years, I was not thinking about what I was drawing. I was just in love with drawing. I remember in the 5th grade when a young man, one of my friends, came to my desk and saw me drawing, and he said he'd like to draw. And so I said to him, anyone can draw. Because in my mind as a young kid, my art was just a way of, I would say, expressing how I felt. And so each day I would give him triangles and squares and show him how to draw. And so in my mind, I wanted to be an art teacher. And being an art teacher, I thought I could give back to other young people, other folk, how I felt about art. And so as we moved through my timeline and moved past the 5th grade, I began to draw, I would say, comic book figures, you know, a lot of figures, a lot of pictures of what I saw in comic books. And one of the things that I noticed about me at an early age, maybe it was because my grandmother was a civil rights leader, maybe it was because my great-grandfather wanted me to be a lawyer, and he took me each day from Scarborough Nursery School down to the courthouse to watch what was going on at the courthouse. And maybe it was me watching television and seeing the civil rights movement happening and seeing things that was going on. But I remember when I was about 12 that there was this thing called identity. You know, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. And the music that I was hearing was just so different until I began to change the white images that I looked at to black images. I can remember the Incredible Hulk that I changed into the Incredible Bullock. You gotta understand, I was a kid, you know. Tarzan. I did Tarzan wrestling with an alligator in the jungle with an afro. And so this whole thing of black identity was prevalent on my mind as a young artist. Many times people say artwork is political. And I continue to say that not only artwork is political, art is what is your identity, but more importantly, what is your intention. And so as I moved through those years, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I began to look at the difference between how I felt and how I saw things. And one of the things that I noticed early on is that I could actually hear tones and hear music, and I would see colors in terms of what I was drawing. Many times I found myself talking to people and I would say, I can draw you if I think about you. And that was one of the games I used to play when I was a young kid. I would talk to somebody, I would listen to them, and then I would go home and I'd get my sketch pad and I would actually draw them. Many times when I was coming up, I used to tell people that if you talk about what you want, I could draw some lines and then I can go and create that particular object. Intention, identity, and color was very prevalent in my work at an early age. I remember my first paper mache dog that I did. It was white. And my teacher kept the paper mache dog. And my great-grandfather used to say to me that don't give my artwork away. And so he said, only sell to collectors. And so at 7 years old, he started a museum for me called the Eric Kelly III Museum that would house my artwork in his house, along his halls, and house my writings. I'm also a poet. I do poetry, 3 portrait CDs that I've done in the past, along with some more interesting writing. My work, again, as I said before, is about identity and intention. When you think about colors, and we will see some of those pieces later on, but the colors and portraiture that I've moved into, very, very important. initially I was doing a lot of figuration. And that figuration was a lot of history pieces. Now, fortunate for many artists, they have what I would say some guidance, some leadership. When I was growing up, once I got to the 12th grade, 3 of my teachers, Sandra Dowd, Miss Corbett, and Miss Cousins, pulled me into the teacher's lounge. And my art teacher, Sandra Dowd, said to me that I was cheating the world because I was not doing enough art. And she said each day that she give out a project, that I would come in the day of the project and do the best piece in the school. And I used to think about that because I wasn't really aware in terms of my art. I just was doing art. And so my English teacher said that, well, this year you're not going to graduate. And my history teacher says, that is correct, you're not going to graduate. And so you got to understand, back in those days, graduation, senior year was very important. And so what I did was I said to them, y'all can't do that. And they said, yes, we can, because we control your grades. And so I sat there and I listened to them as they began to tell me what they wanted me to do my senior year so that I could do more art. And many times when you have people that come into your life and say they want you to do something and you have your own mission and ideas of what you want to do, sometimes you just, don't do it. But in those days, I was the guy who was very popular in high school. So I thought to myself, this is only a challenge. And so each morning, I would draw for my English class, the Macbeth, the Odyssey. For my history class, which was a Black history class, I would draw about the transatlantic slave trade, great African Americans who went on before, like Crispus Attucks, Martin Luther King, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Malcolm X. And these are the kind of pictures that I was drawing. They were historical figures. And I found myself doing the work late at night and bringing those pieces to high school and give them to the teachers the day of. And I think those teachers thought that by me doing the work that I was doing, that I was giving the work to them. But as I said before, my great-grandfather said, don't give your work away. Always sell your work for what it's worth. And more importantly, sell to collectors. And so the Eric Kelly Museum has been a private museum only selling to collectors. And so when the end of the year came, I had drawn enough work to fill a whole hallway in the high school. And as I said before, I started out doing figuration and doing historical pieces. And I hadn't yet started thinking about what my intent was going to be. Why was I doing the work? I was doing the work because I was asked, not because there was this urge deep down inside saying, I'm going to draw all of this work. And so at the end of the year, I received the Lynx Best Artist in the State. And this is what has propelled me to become the artist I am today. I looked at the art award that I received, and I thought about where did I want to go to college. And so I had letters coming to me. I was in the news, I was on television and all these great things. I had these things to happen. And so I had letters coming to my house to go to different schools. And my great-grandfather used to say there are 5 things that you need to think about as you live. He said, number 1 is to think. Number 2 is to sell something. Number 3 is to do research. Number 4 is to be relentless. Number 5 is to have energy in everything that you do. And so I started on my quest for understanding that art was going to be what I wanted to do. And so I did research on the schools in Durham, North Carolina. And for those who don't know about Durham, North Carolina is a space where black people, 49% black people, were engaging in economics everywhere. You know, Durham was the tobacco capital of North Carolina at one time. And so when I was a young man and I lived in Fairwood Street Projects, I could walk down to Pettigrew Street, not to Parish Street, because Parish Street is considered Black Wall Street now, but before Parish Street, there was Pettigrew Street. And on Pettigrew Street was Service Printing, black man owned it, the Regal Theater, black man owned it, the barber shop, WAFR, and the taxi cabs. And I could see black people doing great things right there on Pettigrew Street. And Pettigrew Street was probably about 4 or 5 blocks from where I stayed. I remember going to the Regal Theater, seeing Hercules and all these movies as a young man. But the thing that really impressed me about Pettigrew Street was I saw black people doing black things. And so as I did my research to see where I was going to go to school, I discovered that North Carolina Central University was one of the top schools with black professors. And one of the things that I wanted to do, you know, as a young person is I wanted to go to a school where I could study in the class, and then I also could go to the library and pick their books up and read more about what they were talking about, so I would be immersed into the art. And so at that time, North Carolina Central University did not have an art scholarship program. And so remember what I said earlier about my great-grandfather. He said, think and then say and do research. And so in doing my research and thinking, I said to myself, I want to take my portfolio down and ask them to come to that school for art. Now, many people don't know, and I didn't know at the time, that Ernie Barnes, who is one of the greatest artists who've ever come out of Durham, North Carolina, didn't know that Ernie Barnes had gone to North Carolina Central University. That was not, in my mind, something that I knew. I was an artist who was influenced by the people that I knew, not the books that I read, but the people that I actually knew. And so I took my portfolio down to Atlanta Henderson at North Carolina Central University. My portfolio was full of historical art, as I said before, because that's all I was doing. Many times you hear the idea that all art is political art. While I wasn't thinking my art was political, my art was always about identity as a black man, as a black person, as a black entity on the planet. And so I left my portfolio with Dr. Henderson, and a week passed, and they sent me a letter offering me an art scholarship at North Carolina Central University. This was probably one of the greatest days of my life. As my grandmother at the time said to me, she said, well, since you're going to school for free, I'm going to give you the family car. And you know, when you're thinking about your life and how things transpire to get you where you're going, these are the kinds of things that move you to believe in yourself. My grandmother used to say, you can do anything that you want to do. Just stand up for yourself and do it. And so with that being said, my grandmother gave me the family car, and off to North Carolina Central University I was. And You know, one of the first heartaches that I would say that I had at North Carolina Central University was the whole I'm on art scholarship. And why I say it was a heartache is because the other students that was in school in those days, they knew I was on art scholarship. I didn't know they knew I was on art scholarship. So when classes began and I was asking the other students about painting, because in high school I had done 3 paintings, hadn't done a lot of painting. As a matter of fact, I was self-taught for my painting. My art teacher, Sandra Dowd, said to me, and I'll never forget it, she said, "You an artist. I don't have to tell you what to do. Just take the paint and put it on the canvas and you will figure it out." And that was my first foray into painting. And I did pretty good. I created an abstract. I created a couple other paintings. And I was doing pastels at the time. And pastels was my first love after pencil and ink pen. And so what I did was I utilized my pastel skills as a way of painting. So when you actually see some of my painting, it looks like pastels, because that's how I mix, that's how I match my colors, that's how I draw, that's how I utilize my line work on my paintings, just like pastels. And we'll get an opportunity to see some of those things as we move forward. And so as I got to college, I won't ever forget, I was asking a young lady how to paint. And she said, "You got an art scholarship. You ought to know how to paint." And this was a heartbreaker for me because I came from a background of people helping people to get to where they go. And so with that in mind, in terms of how I was raised, I was never raised to say to people, "I can't help you. I'm not going to help you. You got something, so go do what you do." And so this was a daunting task for me because I was looking at seniors doing artwork. And I was expected at that moment to be able to do work just as well as the seniors were able to do the work, because in their minds, I had an art scholarship, and that art scholarship meant that I had some magical powers, some great art in me that they didn't have. And so I was very, very depressed on that day. I remember it like it was yesterday, because what I did was, as they laughed at me, as they looked at me with those eyes of, I don't know why you got an art scholarship if you can't paint kind of feeling, I just walked out of the classroom, got into my car, and I drove home. And I sat in my house, in my grandmother's house. I sat there and I just thought, why am I going to college? Do I want to go back to college? Do I want to continue this thing called art? I wasn't sure. I just sat there and sat there and sat there. And then in the back of my mind, I could hear Sandra Dowd saying, you're an artist. All you got to do is put the paint on the board and work it out. I could hear Miss Corbett saying, when I brought her the pieces of artwork, "Oh, this is great. I'm going to be able to talk about Macbeth today, and we're going to utilize these pieces." I could hear in the back of my mind Miss Cousins saying, "When you look at Eric Kelly, he looks dumb. But when he opens his mouth, he is brilliant. He holds class from one side of the classroom while we are doing class, and he can answer all the questions about history." And I could hear these things in my mind while I was sitting there thinking do I even want to go back? I tell people all the time that peer pressure is a major pressure on many people if they can't handle it. Fortunately for me, my great-grandfather, my grandmother, and my moms always said to me, you can do whatever you want to do. Listen to what you want to do first and follow your dream. And so my art class was on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And my class that I went to was on a Monday. On Tuesday, I didn't go to art class. Wednesday, I didn't go to art class. So on Thursday, I decided that I'm going to go over there to North Carolina Central, and I was going to paint. Now, you got to understand, as a young kid, a young black man, when you're thinking about your identity, you're thinking about what you want to do, and people are pressing against you and doubting who you are and really identifying and seeing who you are. You gotta understand, you're not the guy that I am today. You are a young man who has fear, a young man who's uncertain, a young man who is asking the question, why am I here? And so on that Thursday, I went to the art department at 4:00 when I knew most of the students were not there. And I went to my board and I pulled out my paints and I started painting. And I just kept painting. And I just kept painting. And I continued to paint. I was working it out, trying to figure out what in the world was I doing. And I remember when I got to the art department and I thought about what I wanted to paint. And I painted a piece that if people saw it today, they probably would say that it's racist. If people saw it today, they would probably say, what was he thinking? What was his intent? But I had done a piece in history, in Black history class, of a slave being hung. And it showed a plantation owner grabbing the slave in his hair, getting ready to put the slave into a rope. The name of the picture was I Didn't Do It. And the picture was about a slave who witnessed something that happened and told other people on the plantation, and then the master decided to hang him for talking about it. And in this piece also has the Ku Klux Klan in the back, the fiery cross in the back, and all of that crazy stuff I was doing back in that day. And I began to paint that picture. And as I was painting that picture, I could see exactly how to paint. I don't know why or what, but I could actually see how to paint. And so I was there from 4:00 in the afternoon, and I looked up, it was 4:00 in the morning. I took my sheet that we had in art class and I laid it over the piece, and I jumped in my car and I went home. And so my class was Friday morning at 11:35. And so I got to class late that day, and somebody had pulled my sheet off of my painting, and the whole entire class was standing around my piece. You know, when you are uncertain about who you are and what you're doing sometimes, and you're looking for validation, it kind of gets in the way of how you make art. And what I mean by that is, I was not looking for validation. I was looking for how to paint. And by looking for how to paint, I created something that nobody expected to come from me, because just 2 days prior, I was asking people in class how to paint. And so this has been a part of who I've always been, is the kind of person who looks at something from a perspective, and instead of asking a question, I delve into it and make a change and make a difference. And so as the kids were standing around my piece, I walked into class, and true to form, I am never been a person who is always trying to talk about what I do. As my great-grandfather used to say, great people are not people who are walking around talking about being great. They're doing great things. And so I walked in and I walked past the students, and I started to pull out my paints in my box. And one of the students said to me, and this was a moment in my life when I really realized that I didn't need validation from people in me making my art. I just needed to continue making art. One person said, "That's not yours. What are you doing?" And I turned and I looked at the student, most of us seniors, and I said, "It is mine." I said to them, I worked on it from 4 o'clock until 4 o'clock yesterday morning. And then one of the students just said, "I just can't believe it." And I just turned and began to work on my work. This has been what's happened to me in art all my life. It's never been about me looking to be a great artist. It's always been about, what is the identity? What is the intent? Why do I draw? What about this practice that I have? What about this museum that I have that makes me continue to draw and paint? And so in college, it was very, very interesting after that time as I created my first piece. And then all of a sudden, the other students start asking me questions about how I did it. And that was more important to me than anything else. Not that I did it, but being asked how. And as I said before, I utilize my artwork or utilize my painting as I was doing pastels. Pastels was my first love. And once I got to college, I had to begin to think about what my identity, what I was going to do in art. Was I going to be doing figuration? Was I going to be doing scenes? What was I really going to do? And I remember Carlisle, who was one of my teachers. And Mr. Carlisle, I remember Mr. Carlisle. And Mr. Carlisle was a teacher, an art teacher, who said to me, he liked the way I was doing large pieces, and that large pieces was something different from what the other students were doing. And so what I decided to do was to try to figure out what kind of artist I wanted to be. You know, I opened up talking about identity and intention. And I'm going to talk about power and color and emotions later. But what kind of artist was I going to be? And so Mr. Carlisle and Kennedy and some of the other teachers decided that they were going to take us art students to Washington, D.C. And taking us to Washington, D.C. to a art show by an art show curated called 200 Years of African American Art. And you have to understand that in those days, the information that we got was just so powerful. It was not information that we didn't look at the information, but we looked at the information and worked on analyzing why it existed. And so had an opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. there was over 85 pieces of artwork by different artists from all over the world. And that's when I first saw Aaron Douglas. I had known about Romare Bearden. I had known about Ernie Barnes because Ernie Barnes came from Durham, North Carolina. And I knew about Ernie Barnes because of Good Times. And I knew about Ernie Barnes because he went to Hillside, that same high school that I went to. And many times when we were drawing as young kids, we would always get, you trying to draw like Ernie Barnes. That's Ernie Barnes. That kind of like Ernie Barnes. And so my mind was like, I didn't want to be a copy or a duplicate of any other artist, but I wanted to know what these other artists were doing and who they were. And then I ran across a man by the name of Charles White. And this is where my entire existence was shook. Because I believe that art is the expression of how one feels. And we walked into this big room. And on this room was a mural. And this mural looked like I drew it. It looked like my work. Mr. Carlisle said it. Mr. Kennedy said it. And I was looking at it and I was like, how can this be? How can this man's work be like my work? And who in the world is Charles White? And so this was a journey to kind of discover who he was, why he drew the way that he drew, what was the political part of the kind of art that he was doing. And more importantly, in those days, some artists was doing something that they call today super realism. And that's what Charles was doing. Charles was drawing these pieces with asymmetrical lines, and the line work was just so awesome. And so after discovering Charles White, I began to study Charles White. And of course, I was always studying Ernie Barnes. And so I had to figure out what I was going to put in the art canon. Was I going to continue to draw these kinds of pieces like the Charles Whites? Was I going to continue to draw the pieces like Ernie Barnes? And so I talk about intention and identity and what my work really represents. And what I say to many people, that my work represents world peace. That's what my work represents. The colors that I use, the line work that I use. I'll share with you a little bit later some of the pieces and some of the line work that I do. But my work is about bringing people together, having them to see each other without seeing black or seeing white, without seeing color. I decided that I would do portraits, instead of doing themed pictures. Now I still do theme and scene work also, but I decided that I would do portraiture, that I would do portraits, and that I would take colors and use them as emotional tones. Many times I sit down and then I hear music and I see colors. I hear people having conversations, I see colors. And so I decided that doing portraits of people and how they feel and how they look would be an impact on how people feel. And so I can remember going to New York City during the summers and just sitting on the stoop in Harlem and just watch people go by and just try to see what they were thinking. You know, and they was arguing, how the intensity of that argument was, and the facial expressions. And I was always amazed by how people reacted. And each time that I would see people responding or moving, I would always see a different color that I could see in my paintings. And so I started drawing pieces in colors. And so my work has morphed from just doing the figuration into just doing portraiture, even though my next series of paintings are going to be dedicated to Black women. That's going to be an awesome set of work that I'm going to work on. I can't wait. And so when you look at my work and you look at my portraits, you'll notice that I'm working to capture an emotion. When I do a piece in green and white, I'm looking at capturing an emotion. When I do a piece in a red, white, and blue, or as the Nipsey Hussle piece that I did, or as I would say, the rap piece that I did, which is a piece that shows the California colors, the American colors, and the African colors. And so I'm utilizing all these colors to make you, the viewer, see an emotion and get a feeling from that particular piece. My intent is to push you away from looking at a scene, but looking at how somebody is being seen. And that's what my portraiture work is all about. For the last 20 years, I've worked on work that transcends time. Pieces on my grandmother, my mother, in what I call lines, colors, and emotions. And when you sit back and you think about that first day in college when I didn't know how to paint, and you think about now where I'm painting every day, you can understand what identity for me has always been about. We hear about Black female artists. We hear about white women artists. We hear about white men artists, the Michelangelos, the Monets, and all of these guys, the Picassos. But what we don't hear is about many Black men artists and what is their intent and identity in the Black art canon. I don't want to be revered as a Black artist. And one of the reasons that I moved into doing the kind of work that I'm doing is because I want to be revered as an American artist. I don't want to be revered as a Black man artist, even though I'm a Black man. I want to be revered as an artist that painted people, portraits in different colors to get emotions from the viewer. I want my pieces to be large enough that it impacts you as you're looking at it, as opposed to you're just looking at a piece. You know, the colors are symbols and emotions that I get when I'm listening to music, when I'm painting. And so I want my audience to begin to look at my pieces as if it's an emotion, not just a painting, an emotion. And when you talk about all art being political, my work is about, again, how do we develop world peace through art? And I believe the way that we get to world peace through art is by stop looking at art as being Black or being white and looking at art as an entity of making, or as some people say, as creating a piece where you get emotions, where you get feelings, where you get an idea of what my intent is when I was actually creating or making the art. That is kind of where I am today in terms of my work. When you think about my great-grandfather, so many years ago when I was 7 years old, walking into my bedroom saying that he wanted me to be a lawyer. And he asked me what did I want to be, and I said I wanted to be an artist. And at that moment, he made a decision to create for me the Eric Kelly III Museum after we went to look at museums to see what they were about. You have to understand that the future of what I would like to see happen is museums for artists who have been marginalized, for people who we don't talk about. Why is there not an Ernie Barnes Museum in Durham, North Carolina? Why is there not a Romer Bearden Museum in his hometown? Why is there not a museum for black artists so that our young people can see how they went through the process of how they do work? And so with my museum, it's been kind of a blueprint for these kinds of things. The Eric Kelly Museum houses the collective writings, the collective works of my work for over 65 years. And one of the things that I would like to see happen is many, many more museums for great artists. When you sit back and you talk about Basquiat, for example, great artist, a New York artist, where's his museum? Where's a place or a space for us to go and see his work? I talked about Ernie Barnes, or Charles White, for instance. Where can we go and learn about Charles White? Another gentleman, and I could go on and talk about the Kennedy Wiley, who's doing awesome work, Lisa Butler, who's doing awesome work, Mark Bradford, who's doing awesome work. We can go around the country and around the world and see the Van Gogh Museum. We can see the Richard Steele's work, Clifford Steele, work. We can see all of these white artists around the world. Museums. Where are the black museums for our young people to see the greatness of these artists who have gone on before us? You know, I also do photography work, and Gordon Parks was a great photographer. But think about it for a moment. Other than seeing the exhibit of Gordon Parks photography, where can you go and study him, the man? One of the reasons that I'm doing this video is because when you look at or talk about artists, many times we have people to narrate what was that artist thinking about, okay? And what was he feeling about what he was doing? And you don't get the conversation from the artist. The artists don't talk about the line work. The artists don't talk about the color. The artists don't talk about how he got to where he is. There's always somebody else talking about how he got there. Van Gogh, for instance, they talk about him cutting off his ear and sending it to somebody. They talk about the Starry Night piece. From their perspective, they don't talk about, or we don't hear Van Gogh say, well, the reason I did Starry Night because I was depressed and I just thought tonight this was a piece. I was studying to do these kinds of things, and this is how the Starry Night happened. We don't get that story. So you really don't know the intent. And so I want to do a conversation about the intent of my work. My portraits, my lines and my colors are put together in a way to pull from you an emotion of how you feel about people on the planet. My pieces are human landscapes. I want you to look at my work and see the lines as the age of the people who I'm painting. When I talk about sitting in North Carolina on my stoop, or sitting in New York City, or going to Chicago, going to New Orleans, going to California, and going to all these different places and watching people, I want you to understand that I'm watching people to see how they move, how they react, how they respond, what makes them them. And so when you see my work, you may see a piece and say, that looks like this person, or that looks like that person, or that looks like this woman or this man. Well, what I do is I watch people, and then I create the feeling that I got from those people. So while my pieces may look like certain folk, in my mind, they are sending out a message of emotion, feelings, and ideas and presence. And that's my intent. My intent is not to just paint pictures and you like them. My intent is to pull something from you deep down. My pieces are spiritual. The lines sometimes remind you of African mask. The lines remind you of lights and darks. The lines remind you of energy, of hope and presence. That's why I do the work that I do. Now, I could easily do figurative work. I could easily do scenes. But I had to ask myself one question. How do I do something that's going to be different, that's going to stand the test of time and say Eric Kelly III was here? And this was his work. This was his style. This is what he was thinking as he did artwork. And so as you look at my work, my earlier pieces, as I said before, were historical pieces, historical places in time. And then you look at my work now, you'll notice that I've morphed into doing work that brings about that whole emotional feeling from you to the work. And that's where we are today.